Alright, lesson 6.1 is about classifying quadrilaterals, and our objectives are to define and classify special types of quadrilaterals. So, there are three main categories. So first is when there's no pairs of parallel sides. Then there's one pair of parallel sides and two pairs of parallel sides. Within those we have a parallelogram. And a parallelogram is a quadrilateral with both pairs of opposite sides parallel. The other option is a kite. And a kite is a quadrilateral with two pairs of adjacent sides congruent. So the two sides that touch are congruent. So like here, these two are congruent, these two are congruent. And no opposite sides congruent. So the ones that are across from each other are not congruent. There's a rhombus. And that is a parallelogram with four congruent sides. A rectangle is a parallelogram with four right angles. And a square is a parallelogram with four congruent sides and four right angles. So a square is kind of like if you combine a rectangle and a rhombus. Then we have a trapezoid. And a trapezoid is a quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. And then we can also have an isosceles trapezoid. And that is just a trapezoid whose non-parallel sides are congruent. So like these two sides are parallel and then these two sides are the same length. Okay, so a couple examples here. First one, classifying by coordinate methods. So we can graph these things and then figure out what we know to decide what kind of shape it is. So Q is -4, 4. B is -2, 9. H is 8, 9. And A is 10, 4. And we can connect all those. Okay, so we can find the slope of each side. So if I find the slope of QB, I would get 5/2. The slope of BH would be 9 minus 9 over 8 minus -2, which 9 minus 9 is 0, so that'd be 0. The slope of HA would be 4 minus 9 over 10 minus 8, which would be 5/2. And -5/2. And then 4 minus 4 over 10 minus -4. So that would be 0 as well, because 4 minus 4. Okay, so then since BH is parallel to QA, because their slopes are equal, right, because they're both, we've got 0 and 0, so since they have the same slope, they're parallel. HA and is not parallel to QB because their slopes are not equal. Right, we've got 5/2 and -5/2. Okay, since it has one pair of parallel sides, we know QBHA is a trapezoid. Next, we need to find out if any of the sides are congruent. So, to find the distance of QB, we have -2 minus -4 squared plus 9 minus 4 squared, which would be 4 plus 25, which is the square root of 29. We don't need to find the exact answer for this. HA would be 10 minus 8 over 4 minus 9, or plus 4 minus 9. So that would be 10 minus 8 is 2, squared is 4. 4 minus 9 is -5, squared is 25. And again, we get the square root of 29. BH, 8 minus -2 squared plus 9 minus 9 squared. So this would be 100 because 8 minus -2 is plus. So 10 squared is 100 plus 0 is just 10. And then QA, -4 minus 10 squared plus 4 minus 4 squared would be 14 squared is 196 plus 0, and the square root of that would be 14. So QB equals HA. They're both the square root of 29. And because of that, QBHA is an isosceles trapezoid. It has two sides the same. Okay, question 2. Using properties of special quadrilaterals. So, we know that this is a parallelogram, which is important. And then it gives us the angle measures equations. And we're trying to find x. So, since this is a parallelogram, that means that these two angles add up to 180. So, since ST is parallel to RU, we know that the measure of R plus the measure of S is 180 degrees, because if lines are parallel, then the interior lines on the same side of the transversal, so same side interior lines, right, are supplementary. So what it's saying is if we would extend these parallel lines, they're cut by this line, and these are same side interior angles. So they're supplementary. So we're going to substitute 2x minus 10 for R and 3x plus 50 for S. If we combine like terms, 5x plus 40 equals 180. So then 5x, if we subtract 40 from each side, 5x equals 140, and if we divide both sides by 5, we get 28. Okay, so in a parallelogram, the two angles next to each other are supplementary. Okay, there are two check for understanding problems to do. Number 1 has part A and part B. They're very similar to the questions we did up here. The first one is a graphing question, so you're going to have to figure out what, the most specific quadrilateral name for the shape you're given. And then in this one, you need to find the values of A and B in the rhombus. Now remember, a rhombus has 4 equal sides. So 5A plus 4 equals 3A plus 8. 3B plus 2 equals 4B minus 2. That should help you find those. I'll make a video for how to do those, and you can watch that as soon as you get done finding the problems on your own.